The annual bank directors.
In business news, the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka decided today to reduce its policy interest rates, the repurchase rate and reverse repurchase rate by 25 basis points. Speaking at a bank directors symposium held in Colombo today, the governor of the CBSL, Ajith Nivard Cabral, said that this decision was arrived at as the central bank was satisfied that the policy measures implemented at the beginning of the year had yielded the desired results.
The annual Bank Directors Symposium organized by the CBSL was held in Colombo today. The theme of this year's symposium was positioning the banking sector in the post-$4,000 era. Speaking at the symposium, the governor of the central bank, Ajith Nivard Cabral, expressed these views on the decision taken earlier in the day to reduce the policy interest rates.
So we were satisfied that as far as the central bank was concerned, that the policy measures that were put in place at the beginning of this year had worked the way we had intended it to work, and therefore some relaxation could be provided so that overall the growth momentum could once again be maintained, of course with the necessary checks in place in order to ensure that we do not have an overheating of the economy as well.
Meanwhile, the resident representative of the International Monetary Fund, Koshi Mathai, had this to say.
One point I've heard made is Sri Lanka has a lot of banks, but they're all rather small banks. And there are no banks with balance sheets large enough to finance the kind of projects that the country is going to need going forward. Another point that people have often made is that the banks here don't provide long-term finance. A complaint I hear often from the corporate sector is we can't get money longer than 5 or 7 years from the banking system. Here's an interesting thing. The lack of long-term bank finance is especially problematic in Sri Lanka because there's no corporate bond market. And I think that's an absolutely important thing, and kudos to the central bank for pushing this, because this is a critical thing for Sri Lanka's development.